Match number 11 of the Tata IPL 2025, and it's the second doubleheader of the second week of the IPL. And we are once again going back to Guwahati as the Rajasthan Royals take on the Chennai Super Kings. Both the teams are coming into this fixture from a defeat in different circumstances. Talk about RR, got hammered by Kolkata Knight Riders, but talk about on the other end, it was a historic win for the Royal Challengers Bengaluru at Chepauk after winning it after 17 years at CSK. They lost by 50 runs. I have Gian with me. Gian, can you explain both the games, especially at what happened at Guwahati and especially also what happened at Chepauk?
I think you just mentioned that RCB won by 50 runs against CSK at Chepauk. The last time RR and CSK only played the final, and RR had won the match. So that's a very interesting stat here. But and even if you go back to 2008, RR had one of the weakest teams on paper, and this year also RR has one of the weakest teams on paper, getting
Yep.
off to a very rough start. So yeah, it is going to be very, I think, a good game. I think an interesting game. I think both the teams will want to return to winning ways, and because RR were actually outplayed in both the matches which they lost. I mean, CSK the won, of course, for their opening match,
First
but
game, yeah.
yeah, but other than that, I think they were totally outplayed today, but like yesterday by RCB. So I think
Absolutely.
it's going to be a tough time because Guwahati again, a lot of dew comes in. It is going to be very difficult to grip the ball. If you're especially if you're bowling second. So it is going to be a very, I could say it is going to be a very, I would not say low scoring, but that typical T20, that
Yeah,
old
typical,
T20 style.
understandable. I understand what you're saying. Not a high
Yeah,
scoring. If you talk
yeah,
about high scoring, we talk about 230, 240 nowadays. Not we don't talk about
yeah.
190 plus as high scoring. But on the other end, as you said, both the teams desperately need a victory. More for Rajasthan Royals, though, who are coming from two back-to-back defeats. But is this a game where you can talk about both the teams having a weak middle order?
Definitely, definitely. Because see, even if you talk about RR, they have a middle order, which is not that experienced because you still have with the likes of Dhruv Jurel coming in who is stabilizing the innings. He is not getting enough support from the other end. But even same goes for CSK. I think they have a very damp middle order where there is no contribution from San Karan nor Deepak Hooda nor Shivam Dubey. Which these three people, if they contribute to in the middle order, I think CSK can score 200 plus in every match. And you don't need the likes of Dhoni or Ashwin or Jadeja to come in place. So I think the middle order is a very thing, and same for RR over here. If Hetmeyer or Shubham Dubey or someone like these guys help or contribute along with Dhruv Jurel. So even RR can bat deep, and they don't need to get in an impact player who's already in batting because that's what we saw in the previous game that they had to get Shubham Dubey in due to the circumstances. So I think the both the teams will look to take up the middle order first.
Absolutely. Both the teams will look into their middle order ticky mark because talk about CSK, they badly required a finisher alongside Dubey because we all knew yesterday if Dubey was out, the game was well and truly over. And that's where I come to you asking about the same question. And I was pretty much surprised with the batting order, the way Chennai Super Kings went about in a high scoring chase. Ravindra Jadeja, Ravichandran Ashwin coming in ahead of Mahendra Singh Dhoni. Your thoughts on that?
See, I think again, it was already an impossible situation that time. I think it was too late for Dhoni. If he would have come earlier or he would have come later, it didn't matter because we saw because Dhoni is not promoting himself as he used to. Maybe
Yeah,
a 10 years,
exactly.
10 years before or 9 years before, he used to come at number four also sometimes, and
Absolutely.
take
Counter the
that
spin.
innings, counter the speed. But now I think obviously I think his after his knee injury and all, he's not playing cricket at all. So I think fair point to say that he just wants to enjoy and give the fans some moment to cheer. That's it. But
Absolutely.
other than that, I still feel Ruturaj Gaikwad has to open with Rachin Ravindra. That is what
Absolutely,
I feel.
100%.
That is
100%.
what
I
I
don't know
feel.
why
Yeah,
they made that change and it's not working out. And the two other names, Rahul Tripathi and Deepak Huda, not working at all so far for CSK. They need to look into how they can fit in their roles, what different roles they can fit in. Talking about this game, RR versus CSK, let's take a look into the head to head between these two teams. Last five matches talk about that, Gian. Only once did CSK manage to win. The last four occasions, Rajasthan Royals have managed to get the better of Chennai Super Kings. If we talk about overall head-to-head, 16 is to 13 for the men in yellow. They are in favourites. Your thoughts? What do you look into this fixture at Guwahati? You said Dew will come into factor. Is it a game of nerves because two experienced player teams are there? Sanju Samson on the other end can be your impact there once again. One final time, probably Riyan Parag is leading the side. could be extending also. What's your thought on that?
See, I really feel, the where, Rajasthan Royals, you just mentioned that they won the last 4 or 5 games against CSK in the last 5, 6 matches. So, but you have to differentiate the squad also, what kind of a squad they had back then and what kind of a squad they have now. I'm not saying that they have the very crew like a pathetic squad or something, but I think they need to tick off a lot of boxes because they have left out some huge names, going
And
into
is,
the
is
auction.
are you talking about the two big names, especially in it, Trent Bolt and Josh Butler?
See, it is not only Trent Bolt or Josh Butler. See, these two were big names, definitely. But a player like Ravichandran Ashwin, a player like Yuzvendra Chahal,
Chahal, oh
they
my
had,
god.
these both. Imagine in at almost Yuzvendra Chahal's peak and Ravichandran Ashwin, he's 3 years younger, and you get them below 10 crores, both of them. That was a steal for RR in 2022. But now both of them going almost over. Chahal going for 18 crores, and Ashwin going for over 10 crores. So I think that if they have created standards. I think RR could have done better to at least retain two of the six letting go of the players which they
100%.
let go. Not exactly, but see, even for Trent Bolt, if they are releasing Trent Bolt, they could have kept Nandre Berger in because Berger also
100%.
was brilliant with the ball
Fantastic
last
last
year.
season. Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Brilliant.
I agree with what you're saying, and that's where Rajasthan Royals have to figure out because they're just going with 6 overseas. That's the reason why I've said it since the beginning of the tournament. If they are one injury away from get the entire squad getting hammered, and Jofra Archer so far has played both the games, we have to see what he provides because his workload will be looked into as well by the Royals. Talking about the pitch report, let's take a look into the numbers. And 5 matches have been played at this venue so far in Guwahati. 2 times the team batting first have been victorious, 2 times the team batting second. Once it has been abandoned. We all remember KKR versus RR last season around. Your thoughts on that? Win the toss, Chase?
See, in such circumstances, you just play your usual game. The toss doesn't really matter. I mean, we saw with RR, they have won the toss once, they've lost the toss in the other game. They have lost
Correct.
both the matches too. So I think toss, and I think it was the same for CSK. They won the previous time they won the toss, and they won the toss, but they lost the game. So I think it's all going to go down where where the which team manages to tick mark their middle order. If the middle order
Yep.
clicks, I think that team is going to cross the line over here, and I would still feel if RR chase down at this kind of a wicket against CSK because you don't really want CSK to come in, because they will be obviously coming. They will be obviously their ego has been hurt after Fortress has been based. Obviously, RR
Correct.
will look to capitalize on that. RR have absolute nothing to lose. CSK have all the high stakes over here. So I feel, and of course with Dhoni's presence, and I think in the final game at Guwahati, instead of pink, we could see more of yellow also, and that
A
could
hundred percent. It's for sure
and that,
because
and in that scenario, I think a person like it is, I don't know, I feel it is unfair on a person like Riyan Parag over here is because you know you're managing at such a big stage and playing at your home. Still, it looks like you're not at your home because of the yellow crowd coming in. So I think they rather have nothing to lose if they can just press on CSK's wounds and just capitalize there. I think they can be victorious over here.
can they do exactly what RCB did yesterday is what I think and even you think as well because CSK are going to play their first away game of the tournament and everywhere they go we will see a lot of yellow shirts, yellow flags waving around in the stands for sure. Talking about the strategy section now, Jian, over to you. 4 questions will be asked to you, 60 seconds rapid fire question. Your time starts now. Which opening pair do you think will score more runs tomorrow between CSK and Rajasthan?
I think CSK, Rachin Ravindra is definitely going to go all guns blazing against the RR bowlers.
So you think Rachin Ravindra's CSK, whoever bats alongside him, will be more opening partnership? And
100%.
do you really think Jofra Archer will finally pick up a wicket tomorrow? Another half century loading.
No, no, no. I think he's definitely going to come back with at least a couple.
Couple, okay. Which death bowler do you think will pick more wickets, Patirana or Sandeep Sharma?
Pantapati Rana.
Okay. Average first innings total according to you at Guwahati, no matter which team bats first. I'm giving you a difference of 15 runs.
I think 160, 165 should be a good target to defend.
165 to 180 bracket is what I'm considering.
Not 180. I think 160, 170. That's a very good target according to me in
Okay.
such conditions. Yeah.
Okay, so that is the average score you're thinking, no matter which team bats first. That's all we have. Your rapid fire question is done and dusted. We'll see at the end of the game how many you get correct. Let's move on to the players to watch out for. Talking about the Rajasthan Royals players, I've gone with Sanju Samson, Yashasvi Jaiswal, and Jofra Archer. For CSK, I've gone with Ruturaj Gaikwad, Deepak Huda, and Ravi Chandan Ashwin against his former side. Can I start with Rajasthan Royals? Any changes for you?
See, I think I will add a player here, who's known CSK for over the years. I'll add Mahesh Theekshana is the name here because he's been with CSK for a lot of years. He knows that team, how they function, and also I think and spin is going to be crucial at Guwahati. And I think CSK are vulnerable to spin, is what we also saw today. They were struggling against spinners. And even if they don't take wickets, the spinners are very economical going into that because
Yeah.
yesterday also, even Krunal Pandya, Riyan Parag kept taking those wickets regularly.
Yeah.
So I feel Tikshana will be one of the players to watch out for.
Okay, so you're going for Theekshana. You're adding Mahesh Theekshana into the players to watch out for list. Similarly, for CSK, I've gone for Gaikwad, Deepak Huda, and Ravi Ashwin. Any other changes for you?
I think I had two names over here. I will add first one is Noor Ahmed, brilliant with the ball. I think purple
True.
cap holder now.
Yeah.
Currently, he's the and I think Chinaman bowlers are they're very rare in number, and but they
Yeah.
just when they bowl, you can just feel that
True.
beautiful essence when they bowl. And I'm so happy a Chinaman bowler has been dominating this tournament so far. So I think he is one. And another name, I think Rachin Ravindra. He's been top class. I think from that Champions Trophy form he's carried into
Form
this
of his life.
tournament.
Yeah.
And I think he's also again with he's not getting too much support from the CSK batters because the wickets are continuously going
Correct.
at the other end. So it is difficult for a person, but still he keeps carrying on. I think he's already the CSK's top scorer this season by a very long way. He's into top four or top five of the orange getters or orange cap getters also. So I
Yeah.
think these two names for sure, CSK.
Okay, so you've gone with Rachin Ravindra and Noor Ahmed alongside the other names. I'm looking forward to how Ravi Chandan Ashwin plays against the Rajasthan Royals as well at Guwahati. Let's move on to the top three battles I've gone with. Battle number one, I've gone with Jofra Archer with the new ball against Rachin Ravindra. Khalil Ahmed versus Sanju Samson is battle number two. And Noor Ahmed versus Riyan Parag is battle number three. Any other one for you?
See, I think Noor Ahmed and RR middle order is going to be very crucial, especially against Dhruv Jurel and Shimron Hetmeyer over
Shimran
here.
Hetmeyer?
Because,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. Because, see, if Noor gets into that middle order phase and if he gets that 2, 3 wickets and he hampers the RR middle order over here, I think it is going to be very difficult for RR to even get to 120.
That's a very bold statement according to you.
Yeah.
But what do you think? Because yesterday we saw that the wickets of Rachin Ravindra, especially in the power play, the two wickets Hazelwood picked up of Ruturaj Gaikwad and Rahul Tripathi. Early wickets cost you a lot of momentum. So what do you think about this battle between Jofra Archer and Rachin Ravindra? Because Rachin Ravindra has been the go-to person for CSK so far.
See, Jofra Archer, if I go back over the years when he was in the first stint with Rajasthan Royals, way back in 2018-19, he used to come around the wicket to left-handers, bowl sheer pace and onto
Correct.
the stumps. And he didn't allow the batsman to, I think where the ball is going to pitch or something.
Not give any
But
room.
but if you give slightest of the width or room to a player like Rachin, you're going to get hammered big time. So I think it's going to be a very interesting battle out here because if Rachin takes on Archer and if he goes into that zone of his, because you see, Guwahati is a slow wicket, you have to make maximum into the power play only, and you drop your morale there. If Rachin or Rutraj or whoever opens with him, and if they go around 60, 65, even say 70 in the power play, I think the game is done there and there.
Yeah.
And the game will be set for the middle order to take CSK to a very good, decent
True.
total to defend.
True. And nowadays we are seeing every team is targeting the power play. And that's exactly what did not occur yesterday when CSK failed to take on the power play. RCB bowlers were fantastic. And as I said, new ball bowlers of 5 overs of Hazelwood and Bhuvaneshwar Kumar inside the power play. That's insane. And that's always a nightmare for the opponent batters. That's all we have for the battles. Let's take a look into the predicted playing 11, starting with the home side, Rajasthan Royals. I think this is a set 11, good looking 11 in my opinion. Gian, I've gone with an unchanged one. Shubham Dubey continues to be my impact sub while the rest of the players remain the same. Any changes for you? Do you think Fazal Faruqi may be into the side?
I was just going to take his name. I think he needs to be into that 11. But again, it's
In
Guwahati,
place
and I
room.
think they would, yeah, it is Guwahati, and I think it is going to be a slow wicket. So I think Hasaranga gets the edge over here because on just that terms that you can't rely on his batting, but still he's a batter. He's a batting all rounder after all, and that's what they have got him here for.
Yeah.
So I think Hasaranga will get the edge, but I think yeah, it's going to be the same, pretty much the same 11 only.
Similarly, for RR batting order as well, they need to figure out what they need to do because they held back Hetmeyer for a long, long time in the previous game. Do you think that was something that costed them at least 15, 20 runs more?
Yeah, definitely. See, Hetmeyer was retained for around 14 crores, okay, and he was retained here for a reason. And in that too, he was retained above Josh Butler. So
Yeah.
RR management must have definitely thought, something over here. And he has to cover a lot of roles, definitely a lot of roles,
And he
because
needs
he
to
has to
play more
cover.
deliveries.
Definitely, he has to play more deliveries, but he has to go into the attacking mode. Even if he, example,
Yeah.
if he comes around in the seventh or eighth over, he has to just go in the attacking mode, play the cameo, or score around 50 in some 20, 21 balls, and then get out. It's fine because you're scoring,
100%. We have
keeping the
seen so
temperament.
many players doing that in that order. We saw
Dinesh
versus
Karthik used
SRH
to do that.
versus absolutely versus SRH versus LSG. We saw Aniket Verma playing that kind of a knock. Yesterday we saw Tim David doing that in the last over of the game. So anything can be possible. Talk us through the CSK predicted 11. Let's take a look into that. This is something which Chennai Super Kings need to figure out. I agree with you in terms of the opening pair. I've gone with Ruturaj Gaikwad, Rachin Ravindra opening together. At number 3, maybe an impact sub comes in. I have Deepak Huda as my impact sub. I am going with Vijay Shankar into the side because I think his experience could be key at here, while the rest of the players remain the same.
I was just going to say the same thing. Like, use the expertise of Vijay Shankar. I mean, you never know what he can bring into that 11. And my question here was, I don't know why Deepak Huda nor Rachin Ravindra has been given the chance to bowl here for CSK, because you never know, because Rachin has been bowling brilliantly
Yeah,
for New
yeah,
Zealand. And I don't see, I mean, see, they obviously have a lot of batting options, or sorry, bowling options also. But again, there's Shivam Dubey who can bowl. Sam Curran is also failing into his bowling. So I think to reduce
yeah,
his workload, maybe a couple of overs from Deepak Huda or a couple of overs
yeah.
from Shivam Dubey, it could really, really calm things down. And maybe, if Rachin is able to use his overs well, then, again, for a player like Ashwin or Jadeja who has gone for many runs, they can be, just relaxed for a while. So these people
Absolutely.
can cover a lot of overs because CSK have a lot of all-rounders in the squad.
100%. They do have, and how does Ruturaj Gaikwad marshal the troop is going to be important. So this is what we go for the predicted playing 11. Time for predictions. Time to put Jian into the hot seat. Let's look into the predictions. Jian, over to you. Match number 11, RR versus CSK at Guwahati. Final home game for Rajasthan Royals as well at this venue. What's your take? What's your percentage for this game?
Uh, Say it is very close according, because both teams are coming from a very losing position, and more CSK would be hurt more because losing at home after a long time to against RCB is going to hurt them for a while.
Yeah.
And even for RR, in their opening match, only conceding 280, 285, 286 runs is
And
obviously a
also,
mental
does the
crunch.
travel thing come into factor because they played yesterday and they come all the way to Guwahati and play in the very next day?
See, that is also going to come into that consideration. But again, the gaps keep increasing. Like if CSK are playing today or tomorrow, like they will have a 5 day gap again. So I think that covers the thing. But yeah, it is what it is. You can't think, but it is cricket after all. And these players are, I think mentally and physically prepared for it. So I think, yeah, I think if you ask me about the prediction, I think it will be 50-50 according to me. I don't see any
50-50.
team higher. Yep,
Wow,
definitely.
that's going to be so close
I'll tell
according to
you,
you.
the team which cracks the middle order is going to be the winner. That is for sure.
That's exactly what we discussed in the beginning of the show. Middle orders game, it's out here. First time I've heard a guest saying 50-50 in the Tata IPL 2025. That's all we have for you. Thanks a lot, Gian. Thank you to all the viewers for watching this video. Gian thinks it's going to be a very close encounter at Guwahati. Sit back and enjoy the second game of Super Sunday. Don't forget to subscribe to the Fifth Umpire. Press the bell icon as well. Thank you so much, and bye-bye.